play video games?
I don't.
Okay then. What is video game to you?
Video game. Something you play on television and the computer, augmented reality.
How exactly do you define violence or aggression?
How do I define violence or aggression? When someone behaves out of character or abnormally with the raised voices or harsh words or harsh behaviors.
What are the strongest effects of violent video games on children?
I think it's they don't know how to separate what is reality and what is augmented reality. So they see it as something that they can emulate in real life scenarios.
Do you think violent video games contribute to aggressive behavior in children?
Sometimes.
In which way?
In which way? Sometimes when when I say violent, I don't only mean the video games where you shoot, the military type. No, I also mean where it's like where you do hand combat and fight. So they do in real life with their friends, their cousins.
Do you find violent video games intriguing, as in interesting?
Sometimes, yes. Okay, I'm talking about the types of video games that require you to think, where there's strategy involved, where you need to know formations. It makes you think. So it's just not shoot. It's just not shoot. It's like, okay, you turn left, you turn right there. If you do this, that counts that. So that's how it's intriguing. So maybe it keeps you engaged.
And then, is there a difference between the effects of film violence versus video game violence?
Film violence versus video game violence. Is there a difference? I suppose there is. I see film violence more of an issue than video game violence. Why? Because again, video games, we're not talking about real people. Film, we are talking about real people. These are the people actually want to idolize and make them their heroes. So whatever they do will be followed suit. So I think film violence is more dangerous.
What do you think how violent video games are going to be in 10 to 20 years from now?
How is it going to be? I think it's already happening. I'm not too sure, but it's going to be more 3D, more realistic. So you're going to have on your Oculus glasses and you're going to feel like you're in the game instead of just looking at the screen. So it's going to be more scarier and more dangerous because people are going to be so into the game, like literally into the game now, that you won't be able to separate fact and fiction, and there's no clear boundaries, so it's going to be more dangerous.
Do you think gaming can be a positive influence on the development of minors?
To a certain extent, like I said, I agree, because if it requires the child to think, the child to come up with strategies, the child to navigate its way around certain complications, certain riddles, then yes, because the child is using the brain, so it's going to develop its brain cells. So that, yes, it will develop the child.
Do you play games?
Video games. My favorite is FIFA. It's all football games. I don't actually really play that much of violent video games.
What is a video game to you?
Okay, I think video game is a form of fictional entertainment, right? where people, especially those young generation, they try to indulge in it, and most of them do in a very long span of time. So yeah, it does take a big part of their time that they have in a day.
What do you think is the appeal of games to children?
Appealing factors, huh? Well, the sense of action, adventure, all this entertainment, which maybe all these minors can't find in the reality world. I think these are the appealing factors.
How would you exactly define violence?
Violence, aggression, huh? Well, if I think violence or aggression, for the matter of sake, is a form of physical nature, act of physical nature that a person or group of individuals use to harm or threaten another group of individuals, or just a single individual per se.
What are the strongest effects of violent games to children?
Okay, before I answer this, I'd like to tell that we all know that the group of childhood teenagers, this is a time of active development of mental in the particular individual. So when you say that a particular group of individual of the group of children and also teenagers age group, they participate in actively in this act of video games, I think that there will be problems whereby they cannot activate, they cannot participate in all the social activities. So in terms of their mental development, it'll be a bit more slow. So yeah, it is definitely a big problem. This is the strongest effect of addiction that can happen.
Do you think violent video games contribute to aggressiveness in children?
Well, this comes back to the previous question, I think. Well, because I think, as I said before, this is a time whereby active mental development will take place in these children, in these teenagers. So if you ask me, definitely aggression can be a problem that we have to consider, because when they play these violent video games, those violent concepts, violent aspects will definitely be implanted on these minds of these young people. So in case of any conflicts in the future, we really can't be sure if wouldn't they act the same way. So yeah, definitely aggression is a problem. Yeah.
Do you find violent video games interesting?
Video games, yes, definitely interesting, because as you can see, number of people who play it. So yeah, without no doubt, interesting.
Is there a difference in the effects of film violence and video game violence?
Yes, definitely there's difference, because when you see news, it's a form of general viewing, because we are watching with everyone, and there is a certain aspects of censorship whereby they do censor out all those, how to say, too violent parts. But in video games, this can't be the same thing as you think in the news aspect. So there is no exactly a great censorship that happening in video games. So yeah, definitely there's difference between these two.
How do you think violent video games are going to be in 10 to 20 years from now?
Okay, if you ask me what has happened to video game in 20 years, let's just look at what has happened in the past 20 years. Definitely the graphics, the settings is all improved, and you can see how much the graphics has really changed the way people play, and this actually attracted more people to play the game. And in the next 20 years, I believe the graphic will still keep improving, and definitely it has a multi-dimensional settings to it. So yeah, more people will definitely indulge into it.
Do you think that gaming can become a positive influence on the development of minors?
Definitely, surely no, because video games, all this will definitely result in minors, right? They spend more times in the virtual world compared to reality. So
how do minors overcome the psychological problems caused by video games?
I would say counseling. I think counseling is best suited to this type of individuals. Yes.